What's up everyone and welcome back to another episode of SW Answers. Now last episode I said this,
which I promise won't be a month from now. It will be a couple of weeks from now at least, hopefully.
And yeah, I might have lied to you a little bit guys, it's been closer to 2 months, but I'm back with another episode here. I do apologise, it's been so long. We have a couple of questions that were a bit outdated from last episode, so I haven't included those. But we have some sick questions to go through in today's episode of SW Answers. If this is the first time you're watching one of these, it is my Q&A series where I go through all of your different questions about Lego Star Wars and everything like that, as well as my personal stuff as well. But yeah, it should be a fun episode. So let's get straight into the first question, which is coming in from Cool Bricks Productions. And he says, what are your tips for making a Lego Star Wars mock building series? Now this is actually a really good question because a lot of people don't really talk about sort of like mock building series or how to actually do the series and how to structure them and things like that. So I definitely would say first things first, you have to pick something that you're interested in. Firstly, picking a mock is a really important thing. It's actually a really hard thing to come up with ideas and sort of pick something. So I think definitely picking something that you're sort of inspired by or you really want to do is something super important, because that basically means that you're going to stay more connected to the series and definitely be more motivated throughout the whole series, because they can take a long time. Even just the 2-month mock build series, it's easy to sort of lose motivation for those. But yeah, definitely would say that. I say start small as well. If you have a relatively small part collection, you can easily make a 4-episode, 3-episode, 5-episode series on a smaller mock, as long as you're just being entertaining. It doesn't really matter how big the mock is. I think there definitely is room for those sort of smaller mock build series, and then you can progress to bigger mocks as you sort of go along the line, get bigger mocks, get a bigger part collection stuff, sort of grow your channel a little bit and things like that. I definitely think there is room for smaller channels and smaller mock build series and everything like that. I think anything is enjoyable, but the main thing is just to make it something that you're inspired by or that you're into, because it can be really hard to get that motivation halfway through the series and stuff like that when you're sort of not really making much progress and things like that. Another thing I would say is try and include as much progress as you can into episodes. A lot of people try to sort of pack it out with loads of hauls and stuff like that at the start. I'd say for me personally, I spend less than a minute an episode on hauls and stuff, because they're haul videos. People aren't clicking on it to watch a haul. Yeah, as minimal amount of time as you can towards the actual sort of like talking and stuff like that, and the minimal amount of time to hauls and things, and just get straight down to progress. Definitely include time lapses, definitely include some different cinematic shots if you can. But yeah, the main thing is to stay consistent, keep building, and keep putting out updates that are entertaining for people. If you think I missed anything about Lego mock build series, let me know in the comments, because I'm always looking to improve my series and things like that. What do you like about mock build series? What things don't you like? What things put you off? What things draw you to a series? I'd love to hear that in the comments. But the next question is a really interesting one from Red5, and he says, is there a pattern to when minifigs are the cheapest to buy on Bricklink? For example, after a week, 6 weeks, 6 months, or a year, etc. like that. Now, I definitely would say there is a sudden rise in price. So we see the set come out, it's really sort of sought after, the minifigs quite sought after. They haven't quite had a ton on the market yet. There's definitely a skyrocket in price. So don't buy minifigs straight away unless you're buying the actual sets themselves. Again, you're going to be paying a higher price for the sets. Therefore, those Bricklink sellers that are parting them out are going to be charging a higher price for the actual minifigs and everything like that, because they haven't gone on sale yet. I definitely would say sort of like 6 months later was when you start to see sets going on big sales and stuff like that, and that's when people will be picking up a ton for their Bricklink stores, and they'll probably just be chucking the minifigs on at a reduced rate, especially because there's tons more minifigs in the actual market itself. So I'd say 6 months, and then towards the end of the actual set's life on the shelves is when you're going to find the cheapest price. As soon as that set retires, you might see that sort of minifig price creeping up. But yeah, the one thing I've noticed a lot recently is, like, in the past you'd see a ton of older minifigs getting pushed onto the market for really cheap prices, and now because sort of people have already bought up all of those sort of things, nowadays a new fig sort of like doesn't really drop to crazy levels. Like, it already starts as like a $5-6 minifig if it's like even just a standard fig in a smaller set, and I find this is really damaging the sort of market and stuff like that. A lot of times if you'd found like a big sort of set came out, a lot of people wouldn't be looking to the aftermarket to buy minifigs and stuff like that. So I think you would have seen like a dramatic drop in price before, but now you kind of don't really see that until a little bit after when things go on sale. But yeah, again, it's an interesting one to discuss, and I definitely think there's definitely a lot more I could look into that. But yeah, that's just kind of my first impression of that sort of topic. But yeah, next question comes in from Wookie Brick Studios, and he says, who is your favorite Lego Star Wars YouTuber that you watch regularly? Now, I definitely have a ton I could mention in here. There's a load of smaller channels that I watch and things like that, but we're going to go with the big dogs for today's episode. We're going to talk juicy gossip. We're going to go with, I think, probably the Brick Wiz. He's always been one of my favorites. I don't know what it is about his channel. I think it's the quality, the mock building, just sort of similar videos that I make, and I find him super inspiring. So I would say him. Love Solid Brick Studios. Always got to watch an M&I webinar video when that comes out. Like if I'm ever thinking about a set or talking about a set and I need to look up some information, I'm clicking straight on Eminar's channel for that. So he definitely provides a great service for that. I watch a few things from Jang Bricks and things like that, and other creators that sort of would sort of review different sets that aren't maybe Star Wars sets. So for example, if I'm looking to get into modulars or buy a modular set, I'll check out a different channel. But yeah, usually those ones are my core ones that I watch. I do dabble in a few other bits of news from people like Studs and things like that. But yeah, tons of great channels that I watch. Loads of different mock building channels that I really do enjoy. But yeah, those are probably the main ones that I do check out. I know that's a pretty general answer, but yeah, let me know who your favorite YouTubers are in the comments. I'd love to actually hear your sort of like top 3 and stuff like that. Boba Fett the Best Hunter says, do you buy LEGO Star Wars magazines? Now, I actually don't usually buy them. If you guys don't know, or you're from the US or somewhere outside of Europe, basically in Europe we have these LEGO Star Wars magazines that come out, and just LEGO magazines in general, but Star Wars ones are kind of like the priority for this question, and the priority for me, of course, being a Star Wars collector. But yeah, basically you get these magazines and they come with one foil pack. Usually every month there's a different one, and it's usually like just like a small build or something, but occasionally they do have the minifigures. Now I do buy them when they have the minifigures. Usually I don't usually buy them if it's like a repeat fig. So for example, we had like the Mandalorian from one of the Mandalorian battle pack, one of those guys we had in a fig, so I didn't bother picking that one up because it's kind of a dead figure. But yeah, I did in fact buy the Palpatine. I did in fact buy the Bespin Luke. That was a crazy one when that came out. It was a really hard to find one. I haven't bought any of the Snowtroopers that are currently out, just purely because there's the battle pack and I can't really see whether it's really a worthy purchase or anything like that. But yeah, next month is actually going to be a 501st Trooper, so I definitely need to pick up one of those at least. But yeah, I'll quickly show you a couple of minifig packs that I have actually bought myself. So yeah, they're pretty cool. They're basically like these just magazines. I haven't actually ever read any of the magazines, but yeah, you can see we got a Palpatine one here. So that just came with like a cool Palpatine minifig. I thought that was quite a decent one, so I picked up I think 3 of those, maybe potentially. We also have the Bespin Luke one, which is actually one of the most goated magazines we've ever gotten, I think, because that's an incredible fig, and I'm so glad I could get one of them in my collection. I think I bought like 4 of those. Really, really good. And I did actually buy this Lego City one the other day because it came with like this girl and this sort of lion cub right there, and it did also come with this guy who's kind of like cleaning up the streets. But yeah, very random one. They come occasionally have good stuff. I know there's Ninjago ones and loads of other stuff, so I definitely would say if you're in Europe or the UK specifically, just grab them. They're not bad price. They have gone up in price, I believe, but yeah, not too bad. Definitely one that's cool to pick up occasionally. And I always do check my supermarkets to see if there's any like decent ones lying around, but yeah, usually it's just kind of one every month, and they can get decent if you do look for the right ones and sort of wait for the good ones. Up the Chell says, will we get a video on your sealed set collection? Now, my sealed collection isn't actually that big. I kind of only have a few sets. You can kind of see a couple just there. I literally have, I think that's the AT-ST Raider, the Grievous Starfighter, and then I think I have a Boba Fett helmet and a couple of others, like I think I've got 7 Mando battle packs behind Baby Yoda there. But yeah, I don't really collect too many sealed sets. I'm planning on buying the Star Destroyer soon, and I'll probably will keep that sealed for a while. So, but yeah, I definitely won't be making a sealed set collection video until probably I start to build up a bigger collection. But yeah, that's basically a little mini clip right there for my sealed collection if you guys want to see it. SGT says, what shop do you work at? So I might have mentioned in the last video that I actually work at a shop that sells Lego. Now I work for Smith's Toys. It's kind of a cool company. There's like probably the biggest company for Lego or for like toys and stuff in the UK. So yeah, I quite like it. It's an alright job. It's not the best in the world. I do get 10% off Lego, which is not bad and stuff. But yeah, definitely I'm looking to get a new job soon, and I would love to work at a Lego store. I think that's my goal one day. Just sort of like a mini goal. I'd love to try and just work at a Lego store for a little bit. I think that'd be quite a fun job. But yeah, let me know if you guys have ever worked at any stores that sell Lego or anything like that, and let me know if you have any sort of like good stories about working in a shop that sells Lego. It's quite fun because I get to like meet the occasional AFOL and stuff, and sort of sell to them and sort of talk about Lego. But yeah, it's not as glamorous as you might think it would be. Username deleted says, how do I get a cheap Knight collection? Now I definitely would say look at some of the older figs. There's some older sort of Knight figs that are interesting and sort of like a bit cheaper, but for me I like the newer stuff, so I definitely would say go on to Bricks and Pieces. So if you go onto lego.com, scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll click on replacement parts and then buy missing parts or buy replacement parts, and then you can search on there by like the blacksmith set or the 3-in-1 castle. The 2 sets that you see just up there, they both came with the Black Falcon minifig. Now you can actually buy the body, the legs, the sort of shields, helmets and swords and spears and bows and everything like that from there. So you might have seen in a few different haul videos, I got a ton of those, and that's definitely a cheap way to get them because they sort of come out to about £2 to £4 per fig depending on what armor and stuff you go for. But yeah, yeah, definitely a good way to start. But otherwise, the demand is quite high for knights and the sort of supply is quite low. So some of those CMF minifigs that have come out recently are just crazy prices. So it can be quite hard to start a sort of cheap knight collection. But yeah, you got to wait a while, but Lego.com is probably the best bet. Although I think they have just been changing it up. So I think potentially they might be changing to a new sort of one. So you might have missed your opportunity on that one, but hopefully not. Archie says, where's a place you can get blank clone helmets? I'm presuming for decaling and customization and stuff. So I would recommend Blue Harvest Bricks. They've got a ton of stuff on there. I also got mine from, I think, someone called JB on Instagram. I definitely will try and leave a link to his sort of Instagram down below. But yeah, those are two great places to get blank helmets, as well as like Jonak toys, AV figures and stuff like that. So this question was half outdated, half not, and it's sort of asking how many Hoth battle packs am I going to buy, or how many was I planning on buying. So far I've bought 4. I definitely am planning to get at least another 4 or so, probably a ton more actually. I probably will capitalize when they go on sale and stuff, but so far my sort of head is undecided on how many I want. I will be getting the UCS 8080, so I do need to fill that up, but otherwise I think I want to go for maybe, I don't want to go for more than 20, I don't think, because I don't want to have too many sort of snowtroopers compared to how many regular stormtroopers I have, because that would look a bit weird. But let me know, how many have you got so far, and how many are you deciding to pick up? Commander Cody asked about a very cool minifigure, and that is Commander Neo, the Lego version, or the sort of 91st Recon Trooper. Now this is actually a really cool figure, and I do think it's not the most overpriced clone trooper. A lot of the Phase 2 clones like that, especially when they came in singular sort of quantities in one set, have skyrocketed in price, like Rex and stuff. But yeah, this one actually isn't too expensive, so you can find it on Bricklink for I think less than $10. So I definitely would just recommend sort of waiting and picking up a deal on that figure right there. Poetic says, what is a place to get custom clones for pounds? So I guess in the UK, but not minifig custom, since I bought 85% of it. So damn, that's pretty impressive if you bought 85% of minifig custom stock. But yeah, I'd say Firestar and Blue Harvest are the only 2 other places. You can also get some really sick stuff that isn't clone troopers, but it's stormtroopers and stuff from Forest Moon Bricks. So that's definitely one you could go down the route of. But yeah, Blue Harvest sells a few different stuff from CAC, as well as loads of decals and stuff, and you can use my discount code that you see here on screen. Same with Firestar Toys, my discount code is here, and you can use that to get sort of like loads of different stuff. They actually have some really cool stuff. I think we're going to talk about a bit more of that in the next question, but yeah, Firestar's a great one as well. So yeah, on the topic of Firestar, he says, would you recommend custom mini sets from Firestar Toys? So I presume he's just talking about the minifigs and stuff like that, because the figures do look really, really good. I think there's some really sick ones on there. They came out with a new Incinerator Trooper, I believe, a minute ago, but they do have quite high prices. You do have to pay a very pretty penny for some of these Firestar figs, but I definitely would recommend, and you can always get that 10% off with my code as well, or other people's codes. So, but yeah, you can get some really good point systems with the star points and stuff, so you can save a little bit of money, but they do have some quite high prices for the Firestar stuff. But their prints and stuff are actually really nice, and they do have some cool variety of Clone Army Custom stuff. On the topic of Clone Army Customs, TJB says, do you like the new Clone Army Customs Phase 2 helmets? I guess they're not quite new anymore, but I guess he's kind of a way to distinguish between the old ones and the new ones. But yeah, I'm growing on them a little bit. I think the Arc Trooper ones are good, but overall, I'm just not a huge fan of them. I think when you look from above, the sort of mouth gets kind of wiggly and it looks a little bit weird. But for me, I like the Phase 2 regular Lego helmets, and I just kind of like sticking with one style. It looks a little bit weird, but I definitely think it's a huge step up on that old P2 helmet. But yeah, it's growing on me for sure, let's just say that. Ben says, ask SW, if you ever got out of Lego, would you still buy Star Wars related merchandise / items? Now, I don't really buy any Star Wars related stuff at the moment that isn't Lego, apart from I was looking into getting the Mandalorian helmet, the Black Series one. I think that was such a sweet helmet, but I kind of missed out on it. But yeah, I don't think I would. I don't know. A lot of the reason I buy sort of like cool stuff is to put in the background of videos and stuff like that. So I don't know whether I really would buy Star Wars merchandise. I probably would still buy a lightsaber. I do definitely need to buy a lightsaber. But yeah, that might be the only sort of like Star Wars merchandise other than like clothes maybe that I'd buy. But yeah, let me know. Do you guys buy much Star Wars merchandise that isn't Lego? I'd love to hear that in the comments. Do you buy Hasbro, sort of other stuff like that? And the final question is from sub to Unknown Clone, and he says, since the year is ending, this kind of was made in December, so just take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, he says, since 2021 is ending, with no more sets releasing, what has been your favourite set of 2021? So I'm going to answer just a couple there. Obviously, we have the ECS 8080. That's a cracking set. It's incredible. Can't wait to get my hands on it. The gunship is definitely a great build. A lot of controversy, but yeah, I definitely think that's up there. I also would say the R2 is a good sort of overlooked set that came out that year. I do think there's definitely some other great ones that came out in 2021, such as the Bad Batch Shuttle, the Armored Marauder, the X-Wing, the TIE Fighter. They both came out at the start of the year, so those are definitely underrated. I do think the Mandalorian Starfighter is great as well. There was a really good variety of sets that came out that year, and I think it's definitely sort of slept on wave. I think we had some really good stuff, and we're definitely in a good age for Lego right now. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of SW Answers. I definitely will try and get another one done pretty soon. I'm not going to make any promises, but I definitely will get one out very very, very shortly. So stay tuned to the channel for that. Make sure you hit that like button if you did enjoy today's video. Smash that subscribe button as well. Of course, we're gunning for 20k subs. We're literally 300 off right now. So we're not 300k off. That would be quite a way off. But yeah, we're 300 off right now, guys. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Please join the channel. Come become a part of it. Come to the live streams. We have a ton of fun over here. So make sure you stay tuned for all of that other stuff that's coming up very soon. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.